Hello, friends.
Hello.
Okay,
I guess I realized I'm wearing a shirt that, with the new show on Disney Plus, would follow as part of witchcraft.
that is true,
But I
but
think
we're
this,
not talking about those witches.
I know, we're talking about
The final episodes of
Magica de Aruna.
Magia de Aruna.
Whatever.
To be fair, it's a Portuguese show, and Portuguese actually follows very close with Spanish. But
We
yeah,
would have done Disney on Ice, but I kind of realized last minute that, not sponsored by StubHub, but you're awesome.
no, we were 2 episodes away, and with the end of the year coming up, we really wanted to wrap up this show by taking care of both episodes 5 and 6 in the same episode for a final reaction to this entire show that we've never seen before and trying to make sense of it.
Okay, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on these shows that are not from the US but are Disney filmed based.
International Disney films or
Yes,
TV shows.
thank you. Um, I just want to point this out. The second one that I have watched, I think it's called Intertwined,
Mm-hmm.
is basically Maleficent.
Okay.
Like these international films, they take the ideas of
A lot, yeah, they take a lot of similar storylines from classic Disney movies and zhuzh it up a little bit.
yeah,
Because if you didn't see our last episodes, check them out. But in our last episode, when we talked about episode 4, we kind of learned very fast that this is based off of Tangled a little bit.
well, and the interesting fact though about it is they're not it's similarities between the movie, but it's not the actual story plot of the movie. Like they make
Exactly.
so with Aruna, obviously this show has taken a part of like when Mother Gothel gets her youth from singing the song and then getting the power. The same thing is happening in Aruna's magic.
With the CEO, who we find out her name is Bruma,
Yeah.
finally, for after like it took the 5th episode to finally learn her name.
Yes. And also found out obviously she's old AF,
Yeah, 300 years old.
which is why she needed the mugwort.
Not just that, so it wasn't that she needed the mugwort for it, because she was stealing off of Aruna.
Yeah, but doesn't Aruna's magic need it? Oh.
Aruna is self-sufficient,
Mm.
but she was harboring the wild mugwort to keep the descendants from having it because she was part of the order that was set out to trying to get rid of magic in the first place, like we learned about in the very first episode.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like we learned that she was like treated terribly during that time period.
Basically, she was made the housewife, very old stereotypes of you're the wife, you do nothing but cook and clean and bear children.
And don't speak unless spoken to.
Yes.
And she tried to push that, and her partner or whatever pushed back. And so she went to steal Aruna when they turned into the magical tree. We find out that she actually stole Aruna from the tree, which answers the question of how the F she got hold of Aruna when they were turned into a tree. But when she tried to say, oh yeah, they're gone, her partner still yelled at her. And so she made it a point be to like almost get revenge both ways. Like still fight off the people with magic, but also fight off the order. It was weird.
She wanted to it makes sense why she's a CEO in in the modern time though, because obviously her husband is far gone past. But I'm assuming after her husband died, she was like, he's not under my control anymore. I can do whatever the F I want. And she was obviously strong-willed when she was married, but kept being hushed down by her husband. So she took that opportunity to be like, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah, because she wanted freedom.
Yeah. But didn't turn out too good for her.
No. she ended up being selfish of that freedom and not wanting to give it to anyone else.
Yeah. And
Well, and so like there's a lot of things because I don't know about you, these last 2 episodes were better than the rest of the show.
I know.
Like after,
Not gonna lie, it felt good to finally like get a good ending on this and just kind of get it out of the way.
right? But at the same time, like after like I finished the 5th episode, I was like, oh crap, I need to see what's next. Come on.
Unfortunately, I was not the same way as I had to watch the last 15 minutes again at your place because I passed out.
Asleep.
Yeah, I've just been so busy. Like after the movie in the movie theater, I was
I feel you.
tired.
I feel you.
Child.
I mean, yeah, but still, I feel you.
I know.
But no. What was your favorite part of the last couple episodes?
That's gonna sound stupid, but it makes sense because it's me. The truth or dare spin the bottle.
Oh my god. Okay. So you know what I would have done in that instance?
Hmm.
So you know how like it spun the bottle, Mima asked that guy that she likes, like truth or dare. They sit there and they share a kiss. That's like eh. And then the girl who's very jealous of Mima is like, you call that a kiss? This is a kiss. And she kisses him. I told Megan what I would have done if I was Mima. I would have gotten pissed off. And like when she's like, who would have kissed better or whatever, I'd been like, I would have been pissed off and just kissed her back and be like, take that. That's what I would have done.
You literally were just thinking of what I was thinking about.
Because I would have been like, F you, I'll show you how good of a kisser I am. And shut her up and shut her up.
I was like, as the bisexual I am, I would have just like full on make out sesh with the girl. To be fair, if I was dared to kiss the guy, like I probably would have not given. Or,
I
like,
wish they would have drummed up the romantic tension between them a little bit more.
that was like the only romance in the entire like season.
I'm gonna say the rest of the show, they were like bickering like old married couple,
Yeah,
but no romance,
I know.
no inkling.
And this was it.
Yeah,
And then like afterwards, there was like no more continuing the romance. I was more like,
no, just random,
bro,
just all of a sudden he's like buddy buddy with her.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, kisses breaks tension, but still.
It was like I kind of wish they would go like a little bit more on the aspect of like, are they going to be a couple now? No, they're just
No,
but
no, exactly, and that's like the most frustrating part about it.
like, hey bud.
I did find the scene with the pool a little awkward.
Eh,
For me, it was a little weird. Like all the sudden strip down into the pool,
I mean, eh,
followed up with the spin the bottle.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not. At least
Oh,
it's better than some movies. Okay,
fair, but okay, that spin the bottle was dumb because it was a spin the bottle, truth or dare, but the dare was a kiss.
right? Like I've always known, like spin the bottle, like just kiss each other.
You spin it, it lands, you kiss.
Yeah.
This it was you spin it, truth or dare, dare. Mwah.
Believe it or not, I've never actually played spin the bottle.
Neither have I, and neither of us are gonna start.
No. But I think if we ever did, it would be like, eh.
Eh.
We could not. Oh my god.
Get away from me! Shoot! Get away from me!
Eh. You know what we could do?
Hmm.
Have our phones do it. Like, I'm trying to think of non-physical ways for us if we had to be in that scenario.
Exchange McChickens.
Yes. Oh my god. If I ever have a daughter, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
To a conversation we had earlier today. Uh,
What I liked about those last 2 episodes is, though, heading back to the show, was that all the storylines finally
oh
converged.
my god, yeah.
Like we had this random side thing with the Descendants
We had the
that didn't
random
make
school
sense.
thing.
The random school thing and the witches.
Yeah.
None of those were related to each other, and then they finally came together and made fucking sense.
I will say though, I feel like the last episode was still overwhelming with like everything that was going on with the
Yeah.
school thing and the witches. Like I think it would have been more okay to like, have the school thing, but not like the competition of the school thing and just had like the witch plot.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. The school thing was a means to get into that government meeting or whatever. That government meeting was needed because that's where Mima was able to bring down Bruma,
Yeah.
kind of, politically. Bring down Bruma to get them from signing that pact or whatever. When that happened, it led to the uprising from the Descendants,
Mm-hmm.
which then led them to witches to witch facing Bruma
Mm-hmm.
in that final standoff. So each of them had their purpose, but it didn't make sense because we didn't know more details. Like, what is this young patron school thing about? How is it that they somehow managed up to be the winners of this patron? Like, all of a sudden it was a school competition, you know? And I was like, wait, what? I thought the whole thing was whoever wins this gets it. And now you have school versus school, you know?
Yeah.
And then you had the Descendants. Like, what's up with the Descendants? How do they exist? Are they like nomads from what happened? Like, what's going on there? You know, there was a lot of we missed a lot of the like what actually is this. We got a lot on the witches side. The witches side was very well explained, and
Mm-hmm.
once we understood more, like got more into the show. But those sections, it didn't make any sense.
Real question though, if they had mentioned some of these details earlier, would it have made the show better?
I think so because you would have understood more about like who the Descendants are. You would have understood about like
See, I think the Descendants still could have come at the same part where it did, but like the whole school thing.
the school thing. I think is important because that's Mima's real life.
Well, I
That's what
think they could
anchors
have
her.
gone in more detail about like what is actually up with the competition to like how is it going to play into the final part at the end.
That could have been better explained.
Yes.
But I think overall the school part was important to be there because that is what anchored us into Mima's real life.
Well, yeah, like
But
nothing wrong with the school thing. It's just I I just think they could have added in more detail that would have made the school thing like earlier in the like in the earlier episodes, not been like, oh my God, this
I
thing.
I think it what would have been better if they mentioned that relation of the school thing with that government's meeting, like that relationship of like, oh no, they actually get to go and talk and influence and stuff like that.
Like I think a good time that would have been able to talk about that is when,
Episode 3.
yeah.
Because episode 4 was where everything started to pick up. And I'm like, you dragged this out too long.
Yeah. Like they could have made a comment of, just kind of like
We needed to understand more about what's up with the school thing. What is it? Why is it important? All that stuff. And how it relates to that government thing.
because so far we just knew it was a school thing.
We still don't understand exactly what it was.
Yeah.
We still don't. Like, other than they won this competition and got to go to the government thing. Beyond that, I don't know what the F it actually is.
No clue.
Other than what we think it's like a National Honor Society type deal.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not Washington State standardized testing.
God no. Um,
Dude, those tests were stupid.
I think what also made the Descendants confusing was
Mm.
that you had the traveling Descendants, but then you had that neighborhood.
Mm.
You know, those two parts being separated from each other, I think made it more confusing because you're like, but we have Descendants there and Descendants here, so what's the dealio?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't really understand what was up with the heart bloodline at all. Like, it bugs me that we actually not never got to see the original guardian of the heart bloodline and what happened to her
Yeah.
and more of the details around that. Like, I don't know, like that baby we saw in the last episode. Remember?
Yeah.
I don't. Was that baby supposed to be Akashi, or was that baby supposed to be Mima?
You know, I'm not sure. Also, I'm gonna when was this filmed?
This was released last year. It came out in 2023, a year ago.
All right, so real question, do you think they're gonna come out with a season 2?
They alluded to it by the end of the series.
Yeah, but
Because the thing is, the season
even though it's been alluded to, doesn't mean they're going to make it.
it depends on the viewership on where it was released.
Yeah.
But I think I think with how I understood in the last episode, the season 2 seems to be making sense because it's a natural follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lachifa said it right. Magic is back, persecution is soon to follow. And that's exactly what's going to come in the second season. It's like, okay, Magic's back. Now what? And who's going to be the one going against it? Especially since like, we saw that tree glowing all red and stuff. So,
Did Mother Goth will go inside the tree?
that'd be lame. That'd be a lame thing to bring back.
It. Who knows?
Okay, but like the Mother Goth, like the Tangled relationship, because I can count off every Tangled reference. You had a girl who was not with her birth parents. You had Aruna, which was a literal drop of light and magic from the sun, like the sun drop flower from Tangled. You had Mother Gothel, who was literally becoming young by siphoning the magic from that magic thing from the sun,
Mm-hmm.
who also died by going to dust. Thanos snapped her. She got Thanos snapped and literally went to dust. Wore red like Mother Gothel. Like, ah. By the way, this main character that's not with her birth parents, also has magic. And her hair has golden streaks. And is naturally brown. And what was she wearing during that whole brigade of like going against Bruma? She was wearing purple. A purple like shawl.
Do you think they're just watching like US Disney and just being like,
I don't think they're watching US Disney because Disney releases their movies in those countries.
oh well, the inner
They release all the Disney movies in those countries that they allow them to. I say where they allow them because I think the live action Beauty and the Beast got issues from China regarding Josh Gad's character LeFou being gay. But anyways,
Also, I need to stop yawning. Jesus.
yes, you do need to stop yawning.
It's still warm in here though, and it's kind of cozy.
It just needs to cool off.
Yeah, so we
figured out what was wrong with our little filming space, and so now it's finally gonna get like it's slowly getting colder.
Also, I'm gonna check to make sure it didn't change the fan setting.
It should be on fan auto.
It's only gone down 2 degrees. It's like 83 degrees in here, people.
That's
And I've spent a majority of my weekend in a heated blanket.
I have two. It's called my son.
Okay.
Dude's a little ball of heat.
Yeah, he is.
But who was your favorite character from the show?
Um,
I know there's no good option, but like, given what we had, who did you like the best? I liked Lachifa. Like,
it's just like none of them.
I liked Lachifa. She was the guardian witch of minerals. Oh,
Yeah.
and the reason I like her is because she was open-minded to Mima, was serious in what was going on, was very innovative in what to do. Like she was very much so like took charge and like led the group and stuff. and really guided Mima to understanding her magic and everything else, which I liked about her. And she was nice and calm and things like that.
Compared to the other witches or issues where they were just kind of like,
Juno's a tipsy gal. Very, very ditzy.
who's the one that was just like, you don't fit in here?
Chloe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she got better. She had trauma.
Yeah, but like also she had that spurt in like the most recent episodes we watched where she was just like, you don't have the pendant.
I mean, yeah.
So she like went,
Mima was not at a point of being ready. It was at this point, it's like any coming of age story where it's like they come into like full realization of their abilities and so on, which I think was also like something I liked about these last two episodes because Mima freaking full sent. Like, ignore your phone.
gonna turn it off because it's annoying me. Okay, there we go. It's turned off.
But no, like I really liked how Mima really came into her own. It was like full scent, like Ice Princess. Like she like last dance, like during that last dance, like she went for it. She like came into her own on that one, which I really liked.
It just I don't know. Not like the greatest series we've watched.
Definitely not. And but we agree that these last two episodes were way better than the rest
Oh
of the
yeah,
show.
absolutely. Sorry, I gotta join in on this comfort level here.
Mm-hmm.
This is great on the space level too.
Yeah. Well, it's nice because we can see you.
And
I can see you.
yeah, not gonna. Okay, so like that is one thing we do need to figure out. Sorry, people, you're gonna hear part of the thing. I mean, obviously because of like where we are now, but like a lot of podcast people like have, you know, the table here and then bloop bloop.
We'll figure out a studio space.
Yeah,
But
there's some current life situations we gotta figure out first.
facts.
More like me.
Hmm. But anyways, no. Like I don't know. This show wasn't what I hoped it was gonna be,
Yeah,
but in a way I like how it ended generally.
that's how I felt about Intertwined, the other international show that I watched.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not a person who's gonna like I'll watch it once, see if it's something I enjoy or not. Um, but yeah, I'm probably not gonna rewatch this.
No. Like I may rewatch the last two episodes just so I can remember what actually happened fully because I'm like trying to remember details as like bits of pieces.
Mm-hmm. The real question, if season 2 does come out, are you gonna watch season 2? Actually, viewers, do you wanna have us do season 2?
Yeah, we've done this is our first series that we've completed. And I know a lot of you have watched our first episode on the series. Check out the rest and let us know, do you want us to take up season 2 of this show? You
Because
know,
like I know we haven't like spoken too positively about it, but
I mean, we've talked about positive points in it. That's the thing. Like we're giving it fair criticism because it's our first time watching this. It's not like the others, like the other movies where majoritively we've seen them already, and some of them we love,
Cinderella,
some,
Ice Princess.
some of them we love, some of them we hate,
Yes.
and I think like we tend to be give more fair criticisms to things we freshly watched for the first time, like Rise of Red,
Yeah.
or sometimes it's needed like Halloween Town 4. But I mean, this show had its good points, like the friendship between Mima and Ariel. Love, I love their friendship, love their dynamic. I love how much Ariel cares for Mima and just everything going on.
Okay, this is gonna sound kind of stupid because this is also kind of the point where I started to fall asleep. I noticed Mima definitely did kiss the guy. Which one was it? Was it her best friend or was it the guy she was competing like?
Guy she was competing with.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like,
No,
okay.
Ariel wasn't there. Yeah,
To be fair, he would have been a douche boyfriend anyways.
he would have like. I need to see more from him. I need to see more effort. I
Yeah.
need to see more relationship, romance building between them, more chemistry, not just
You know he's
being angry.
you know what he's kind of reminding me of?
I know because of how I'm saying this. I'm saying this purposely like this.
F you. Oh God. It's a good thing he doesn't watch this podcast because he thinks it's stupid.
Sure, he does. That's another red flag. Anyways, but no.
Well, he supports me in it, but he's not gonna watch it.
Then is he really supporting?
He's like, just do you.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, well, I think for an international TV show, like
It's not
we have,
bad.
it's not bad. We haven't seen again. There's a lot of cultural things that we have missed. There's a lot of language barrier.
The real thing, I wonder, like, if we were to make an Americanized version of this show, like, if we got a perspective from someone who was from Brazil to, like, is this something, that they would watch, that fits more around their culture to a movie that they would enjoy? Because, like, if you watch French movies, they're depressing. If you watch Japanese movies, they're low key very traumatizing.
Very graphic.
Yeah, they involve a lot of death.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was traumatizing. Like the last one I watched was about like this guy and his father died and he had a like he was a person who worked in a funeral home and helped like prepare people for the afterlife type of thing. I cried for 5 solid hours after that movie. I just couldn't handle it. Bollywoods are really okay. So here's the thing about them. I kind of like them, but I kind of don't like them either because it has a good cringe factor and a story plot I would like, but sometimes it's just too much. Like if they took back some of the cringe and made it, a little more realistic, I'd be okay for it. But instead it's like
Mm-hmm.
song, cheesy, cringe, love.
Mm-hmm. Me and Megan have watched a fair amount of K dramas, C dramas, T dramas, Korean, Chinese, Taiwan,
Yeah.
like Taiwan. And it's interesting. I don't want. I want to say. I don't want to say overdone, but like the way it just appears, like cinematically, is that doesn't. It's not that it looks fake. It just looks overdone. Like how you can tell when CGI is overdone.
Yeah.
It's just like overdone. Like their expressions are just like, oh, and you see like lines or whatever to accentuate the. I was like, it's just over the top.
Where it's not like as natural of an expression
Yeah,
of like
and there's
surprise type
and
of
and
thing.
there's a lot of like back and forth of like I don't want to say like the bad guy being the romantic interest and slow. It's always like a slow burn to get them to be a great. Like they'll
Mhm.
suck, and then it's just like they keep like they'll have good moments, and then they go back to sucking. Good moments back to sucking. Back to sucking.
As depressing as French movies are, I love them because they do not hold back on the romance. It's like minute 2 in the movie and they are already smashing. And I'm like, oh shit, some shit's happening. And then they're like, now we got issues because I have feelings. And then and then it goes into I have issues because I'm depressed. I'm depressed too. I'm an alcoholic. I'm also an alcoholic, but I love you. It's like it's that type of thing. But I'm just like I love them because I'm just like it's the right amount that I need.
How would you characterize American TV then?
Kabam! Oh,
We like a lot of action
we
movies.
do. Go fast. Vroom. Like we're Need for Speed and Power. Like it
Yeah.
one thing after another. It's like boom, 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 boom. Never ending.
Well, and I think American TV tends to do a very good job at very much dividing genres. Like a western is a western, and an action movie is an action movie.
Yes.
Like they can be great, like some overlap and stuff, but you can. It's very distinct, and it's lesser so. I feel like when you get to international like stuff that we have access to, at least,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't want to say they seem all the same, but the genres aren't as clear.
German movies, top notch, because they're not that far off from US movies.
You know,
There's just a few things that are like slightly cringe, but like the acting, it really is not bad.
like instead of a hot dog, it's a pretzel.
No. Um, like a few of the ones that I've watched, like they kind of go a little bit cringe on like extra details in the story plot.
Yeah. Do you remember? I don't know if you were there for it. Freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
we watched. I was with Sarah in the fishbowl. I don't know if you were there to watch it with us, but we had to watch this like Spanish movie for like one of Sarah's classes. So we watched it in the
I don't go on
fishbowl.
the plot.
Huh?
Go on the plot.
Uh, I think it had to do with a labyrinth. It was Spanish speaking, obviously. It's like Pan's Labyrinth or something. There was this gal that was like the princess of the underworld, and it was actually like brought to life and was like almost like pretty much like
Was
heading
there
back.
some like wooden houses thing? I
Possibly.
remember like because I remember we did watch a Spanish film and it was kind of dark.
It was dark.
Okay, so we are thinking about the same one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was funky because like looking at that versus like Aruna's magic, their take on like magical entities and stuff is interesting to me
Mm-hmm.
because I want to say that the witches in Aruna's magic are not how we would think of witches in American TV, even if it was like an accurate portrayal. Like
See, here's the thing though, like US fantasy is everything. Like,
quite literally everything we pull from every other resource. We don't have our own.
yeah, because we just pull like it's never ending. Like we have the elemental witches, like with obviously Aruna's magic, but that's not US. But like if you want to consider like Elsa witch or something, there's stuff like that. But then there's also witches like Agatha, and then there's
Which,
like
yeah.
witches like in Harry Potter, where you got witches and wizards.
Mm-hmm. Well, in like American fantasy, we pull from every other place. Like, how often are the Greek gods overused?
And how many different vampire lineages do we have? Like,
So many.
like it's just the world of make believe over here. Like whatever.
Quite literally. Whereas a lot of other places have their own, more or less their own portrayal of fantasy. Like, I know that,
French vampires. Ooh.
and I know like a lot of Asian like cultures, like dragons are a huge part.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm thinking about getting a dragon tattoo. I have it a little bit more solidified. I
Nice.
also figured out because I was like looking at what I wanted to do because
Mhm.
I'm the year of the dragon.
Same. So
Yeah.
is Lyndon.
Oh, that's so cute.
I couldn't
But
believe out his name.
we're the metal dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking of like getting it like wrapped around.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, right?
Um,
Because I'm still wanting to work on half sleeves.
but no.
I think my job might hate me.
But no, I don't know. Like, it's been interesting watching this show and like really analyzing it. Like we're watching it, but like we're letting like our honest like thoughts and impressions going because we're like really like looking at it versus
Yeah.
like just watching it in like a theater and then you're like, what did I just watch?
Well, it's interesting because the movie I watched in the theater today was an anime, but I mean, of course, I've seen all 7 seasons of this anime so far. But it was kind of interesting because we haven't seen any of the movies for this particular anime before yet. So, we were watching it and like animes as movies are sometimes a hit and a miss.
Yep,
Also, it was 2 hours long.
that's way too long.
But honestly, did
Like
it
I said,
add anything to the manga? Absolutely not. But were there things I loved about it that gave me extra context to the show when I go back to watch it and season 8 of the manga comes out and there's a closing to it? Yes. Okay, there's this one character, Froppy. Her power is she acts like a frog and like has the abilities of a frog. Anyways, in the movie, there is like this part where this one person's quirk like enhances other people's quirks, and one of the girls like puts people to sleep and then like gives them their best dreams, but she was a villain, so she's like using this against them type of thing. And Froppy's sitting there, her and her whole family are just like frog, 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 because they all have frog quirks. So they're all just sitting on a frog, like on a log with other frogs, and they're just like frog, frog, frog. It was so cute. The other going back on this international thing though, one thing I don't how many do you watch animes?
uh, depends on the anime.
I was like, it really like animes are kind of a weird thing in the Japanese culture because like they're common and some of them are really good,
Mhm.
but most of them are harem plots.
Yeah,
And like this one has a mixture of like the good stuff you want to watch, but then the harem plots. I am so disgusted by the harem plots because of the fact these girls are like young AF. It
yeah,
bothers me,
yeah.
but that's normal in their culture. So I try not to like,
Question for you.
yeah,
Back to Aruna's magic a little bit. Do you wish that when it came to them doing magic, it was actually a little more impressive?
yeah. Not gonna
Like,
lie, this magic was pretty
the
lame.
coolest thing was the tree,
Well, Latifa had like some actually cool, like with her, like because she was able to disable some of the stuff.
like moving the camera.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was cool and all, but like,
Nothing like super powerful.
yeah, like give me
They
the.
kind of just go whoosh.
Well, it's like Juno's supposed to be like the guardian of like water, and she just makes blue smoke appear.
Not actually wielding water
Water,
like an airbender or like a
like a water
waterbender.
bender, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like, or like Chloe, who's supposed to be like Earth and stuff like that. Like
And it's more just
flowers.
like a potion. I mean, that one kind of makes sense.
It
Honestly,
makes sense, but she's supposed to be like more like herbs and stuff like that. But I'm like, but again, like if we look at like that final like fight between them and Bruma, it's like she's surrounded by grass. You have a witch that can like control like plants and stuff. That's a lot to do. You have a lot of power in this area
yeah.
because Bruma doesn't have a specific power. She's just whatever the hell she's doing. They used a lot of smoke in this show versus anything else.
Yeah, and I like we don't know exactly what the smoke is doing except for whoosh.
Other than it's smoke.
Yeah. And like I think that's one thing that's kind of different about like Americanized fantasy is like most of them are pretty direct of what it is they are doing.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. You don't when you're like doing a TV show or a movie, you need to make sure that you're able to come things that need to be said are said,
Mm-hmm.
but things that need to be known without saying can be known without saying. Like you don't want to just explain everything. You
But
kind of got to be able to let them know what's going on.
I think this is probably also just hidden with the culture thing, that we have a communication barrier with, just of like this is how Brazilians perceive their nature and because we all have history, you know. I think Americans have more of like ghost history.
Yeah.
Like if any like weird thing we were gonna believe, it would be ghosts.
Ghosts, yeah. I could also see American TV if they really wanted to delve into something interesting, taking up more of like the stories from like natives and how that plays because that is our land.
I mean, it is our history. I wouldn't necessarily say our land because it is the Native Americans' land.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. I do know what you mean.
Like it's America, like that is American history. That is.
Yeah. And I think this is like it would be great if we could have stuff like that, but I think this is also where it comes to a point of like where we are as a culture because if we were to make a movie about I mean, we do have some Native American movies already, but you know, we would need to hire someone who is actually in Native American culture and knows the history, the language, the one to actually to do the directing and
Well, the reason I bring it up is because again, we steal stuff from the Greeks
well, yes.
about Greek mythology.
I'm going to the point of Americans criticize a lot and
True.
we still have a lot of like racial things that need to be worked out in this country if I'm being honest.
I agree.
And so I feel like we're always playing on an edge of like either extreme protesting in our movies or playing it safe
Mm-hmm.
for the cultural barriers in our country.
Yeah. But there's also something to be said about telling a story with a source material in mind.
Yes.
You know? Like you don't need to tell the story specifically as a movie, but have the source material be accurate, using the source material accurately to create the story you want to tell, you know?
Unfortunately, Americans were kind of in a rage bait type of.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I hate to say it, we're kind of angry people, it seems like.
Oh, that's an understatement. Americans are very angry all the time.
Yeah, it's sad.
It really is.
Brazilians, are you happy? They got a pretty high inflation rate, though, if I'm being honest. How happy are you? Is your quality of life good? Like, are you happy? What's your crime rate like? You want to go into more detail? Let's have an economics conversation here.
Once again, Jonelle pulls out her accounting brain.
This is economics.
That doesn't change my sentence. Accounting plays into economics. It's money.
I mean, it's money, but it's not.
It's
Okay,
business and money.
accounting plays into finance. Okay, economics is like the political background of money.
Business and accounting equals economy.
I mean, yes, but there's just different sectors of business and they're intriguing, okay?
Notice how she's trying not to admit that I'm right.
You're wrong, but right.
I know I am.
Like, there's just more. I'll try not to go too much on this.
Anyways, no, I don't think there's anything where we can really talk about. I mean, the episodes were good. I'm happy like all the storylines came together. We saw a really cool ending.
Let us know if you want to see season 2.
If they make a season 2.
Yeah, because we got other things planned out because we are coming to an end on our first year. Not today,
No, but
but we're getting there.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Season 2 of Friends of Disney, baby.
But anyways, no, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you haven't checked out the other episodes where we talk about honestly very different topics, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll hope you guys will see you in the next episode. Bye, friends.
Bye. Get rid of this.